Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about. I'm Yale Brovs, I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hello, Banoons. How are you?
Hi. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good. Everybody, welcome to Summer House Martha's Vineyard Day here at Watch What Crappens. We're super excited. Okay.
So excited.
To present Martha Stewart.
Hey, Martha.
Martha Stewart's Vineyard.
Yes.
Where basically people get wasted and try and fuck Martha Stewart all season long. Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
So fun.
Guys, check us out on Patreon. That's where you see these videos. Hi. And also where you get our bonus episodes. This week we should be talking about the preview for House of the Dragon, which will be coming back to HBO Max very soon, or Max, whatever we're calling it these days.
Yeah.
And also get tickets for the Netflix Comedy is a Joke Festival in LA in May, and for our European tour to London, Birmingham, and Dublin, also in May. Tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. Ben, let's get into it, okay?
Let's get into some Martha's Vineyard. I have to say something. I actually said this on our Instagram, but I'm going to use our larger platform of our podcast. I'm going to try to speak to some kind soul who works at Bravo. And here's what I'm going to say. I really love Summer House Martha's Vineyard. I think it's got a great cast. I think the cast chemistry is really wonderful. They're funny. They're bright people. That they have potential to be really wacky and, have drama. Here is my thing that I want to tell Bravo. It's time to stop with these experiments of 15-day shoots. So this show, it keeps saying day 3 of 15, etc. Or Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, you have like an 8-day shoot or maybe a 10-day shoot. Or Winter House is up to like 21 or something like that. There's just simply not enough drama that's generated in a small amount of time. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you actually do. But so far, we've now seen several of these seasons, and there's just not enough drama to match the episode count that has clearly been ordered by Bravo. And so what happens is, even with a really good cast, you wind up with some episodes where nothing happens because the producers just have to use anything they can to fill out the episode. So I say to Bravo, either throw more money and shoot these people for like 2 months, or do an episode order of like 6 episodes, so that way we don't have to have every episode focus on every day and then nothing happens during the day and then we have to sit there and watch it. Because this episode, I'm sorry, it was not cutting it for me. It was not. And this cast is too good to be giving us dud episodes. So Bravo, figure it out.
No, they still got to get warmed up. It's only episode 2.
It is only episode 2, but I think that like it doesn't, we don't have to have these warm up episodes. Like we could have, let's do some editing. We don't have to sit through 15 minutes of game nights. We don't have to sit through 15 minutes of people working out at CrossFit. Like this is just like, it's starting I'm only mentioning this because it's starting to become an issue on Bravo with some of their shows. And I think we have to like nip this in the bud. Just give us the best content you can give us, and then we'll be very happy.
Well, actually, I think this cast is doing pretty good with keeping it going because they have a lot happen in just day 2. I was like, oh my God, you guys have only been there day 2. We've got tears. We've got someone being confronted about being too handsy. Maybe it's that there's 2 summer houses on at a time.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But I definitely was like, okay, I had this, I'm like, I just can't watch them do CrossFit for 10 minutes of airtime. I just can't.
Well, that's a summer house classic, Barry's boot camp.
I know.
We gotta go to Barry's.
Who's
going to work out today? And Mir's like, I love working out. Yeah, we know. We know, Mir. Okay.
But it's not just this show. Like, like when we watched on Girls Trip and just like an endless episode of like guys coming to the villa, like nothing's happening. You're like, come on, let's tighten it up. Let's tighten this up and make it better.
Okay.
That's my note.
So day 2 of 15. We're at the vineyard. Let's tear the roof down.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and they're still on the boat and they're still dancing on this boat, and it's a lot of like, woo, woo, and then they're like twerking, and now they're leaving the boat. So like here's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no to say this is a perfect example. Like, do we need to come back exactly where we left off? We didn't have to.
Yeah, nothing was happening. There was no TBC, but you know how you were saying in the last summer house, like, God, this really feels like watching all my friends. And I was so happy to watch, and I felt like I was watching my friends. And then, I felt awkward for you. But then this episode, I was like, thank God these aren't my friends. You know why? I can't have all my friends twerking. Like, I just can't imagine that happening. Do you know what would happen if I tried to twerk like that? I would break my back, first of all. And my butt wouldn't clap like side to side. I feel like it would be clapping with the back of my knees.
Well, twerking is a liberal word for some of what was happening, because wasn't this where Bria was like on the cargo net or something of this catamaran and just sort of like doing like a reverse worm or something? I was like, there's a lot of strange movement happening.
Well, there was definitely a reminder. Whenever Bria dances, there's definitely a reminder that Playboy bunnies don't have to dance. They do have to sling a good cocktail, but they do not have to dance.
No, they don't. So they're heading back home, and the plan for tonight is that they're going to be throwing a decades party. So they're all going to dress up as a decade. And Jordan tells us that, like, Jasmine and I talked about the issues that built up over the year, and we just both agreed to disagree, but we also see what we can build from here. So tonight, there's no reason not to just, like, turn up some more. So get excited.
I have a reason that we don't need to turn up, Martha. You're single. Poor thing. So then in the car, Nick is rubbing Summer's shoulder, which is so gross. And he's like, that's me. This hand, that's me. And she's like, I know. It's like, okay, just so you know. And so Shanice is like, guys, I'm so pissed I didn't get dick before I came. This is crazy. We should do shots right now. Shots of dick. How long has it been since you guys have had shots of dick? Which would you take first, a shot of dick or a dick of shots? Oh my God, I can't stop thinking about dick.
And Summer he says this next thing. It says that she hasn't been without sex since March. And then Alex says, it's been about 4 weeks, but I'm grown. Like, I don't like to look at it like that because I'm sensitive and I have a music collective. So
I write lyrics, so I don't count in weeks.
I'm deep.
I count in hearts.
And Shanice is like, I love sex. Oh, I love it. Oh, sex.
So then back at the house, people start to get ready, and Summer and Bree are talking in a hammock, and they're talking about how Simon's coming out on Friday. And Bree's like, oh my God, I haven't seen him for a month. He had to go back to Germany to do some watch work, Want to talk about handsy, which we'll get to later. That guy literally works with hands.
He's still mad at me when I told him we were going to maybe be on Watch What Happens. He thought it was going to be about his job. Watch what happens. So
she says, yeah, Simon and I are in a better place than we were last year. Yeah, because you're not together. You're long distance.
That's literally in two different places. And
I guarantee you will have problems again the second you're together more than 24 hours.
We go through our ups and our downs, but Simon and I are very close, even though we are actually literally an ocean apart. And, I even lived in Germany with Simon for a year, but then I had to return to New York for business. Not that I have a business or I do any business, but I'll just say that because it obviously was not working out between the two of us.
I was going to say, this show doesn't leave me with too many questions, but this is my first big one. What does Bria do? Does she have a
What's
job?
her business?
I forget.
Bria's business?
They don't talk about their jobs a lot on this one. On the other summer house, we have the going to the city part where it's like, dun, 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 let's see their business. Danielle's like, I have an app. Hey, guys, let's talk about apps opening. Okay, here's how I want my app to work. When you swipe up, I want you to have the option to close the app. Apps.
Bria's like, I'm head of strategy for Nothing Incorporated.
So then she's like, long distance is so hard. Dick withdrawal is the thing. Get yourself a dildo. So then Summer's like, dude, Jasmine's pregnant. And she goes, yeah, dead ass. She's always had boobs, but like, these are swollen boobs. Those are pregnant boobs.
Bria's like, if that's true, I fucking knew it. That's what happens when guys get deployed. They get you pregnant and then they leave. Yeah, like we all know it. I mean, obviously we aside for the fact that we know it. Like, she's not drinking. All of a sudden on Summer House Martha's Vineyard, you're pregnant.
Yeah, and also that is a controlling guy thing to do. Like, I'm going to impregnate you and then leave. Surely you won't cheat on me. And also I won't have to deal with the rough parts of pregnancy, which is me having to do things for you. Like, I'm not going to be around for that part. Have fun, sucker.
So now everyone's getting dressed to go start swimming, and Nick wants to take a nap. And Amir's checking in on Preston because Preston's his dad died, as you may remember. And so there was a funeral and he didn't go. And Preston was basically like, whatever, my dad didn't approve of me being gay. And Amir's like, yeah, I think sometimes parents just tell themselves like, I did the best that I could do as an out. So they have like a nice little moment together.
And then Nick is napping, and the girls are by the pool, and they're like, "Oh my God, Nick is so wasted." And Nick is so wasted. He started drinking in the very beginning of very beginning of the morning. They show him saying like, "We're ready to start drinking." So yeah, he's shit faced, and then they all start making fun of like how you can tell Nick is drunk because of his laugh, and he has like a
and he puts his hands on your breasts, and then
simple things like that. Starts
Simple
calling
signals.
you tits and slapping you on the butt.
So then the guys are asking Alex how things are with Summer on the boat. And Nick, here's how you also can tell Nick is drunk, because he gets up out of bed and sits down on his own clothes. Everyone's like, oh my God, Nick, you're sitting on your clothes. He's wasted.
So then Alex is like, I think that there's a difference in expectations with Summer, because she might be clinging to the idea that we are something, but I'm not really sure where she would get that idea. I wrote a song about it. It's called Summer, We Are Something.
Yeah, girls are crazy. So Amir's like, oh, well, her feeling left out and being that hurt, it's like you should care about me more, but then everyone else is like, oh, it's because it's me, and it's like it's because it's you, and she's like, it's me, and like, I'm trying to say, I've got your back, bro. I got your back.
And so Amir's like, so the way that Summer is expressing her frustration, this isn't just about a party invite. Women only get upset when they're in love. But also, Alex can be like, whatever, I told her it was casual and I told her this and that. But Alex is also the guy who does this. Do you really understand me? Because I like putting words to music, and I really don't understand people who aren't deep. And she's like, yeah, I get it. So when you have like those deep conversations with somebody, you're like, only you get me. I think that's how people trick other people into thinking they're smart. But I think that on her part, she could take that as like, oh my God, we totally get each other on this deep level. So
yeah, no, he is totally the person who does that. And you can't tell me otherwise. And so then he gives his perspective. He goes, I've been very honest about where I'm at. And after we left the house, I was open to the idea of getting to know her more, maybe inviting her to the music collective. But there were also things that early that I just didn't like. I was like, I don't think this is it. Like the first time we were hanging out, it's like she's taking a photo of me without even me knowing, and then like sending it to Jordan. That's just wild. Like, sir, really? You're like, the reason why my theory is this: the reason why he's so pissed off that she took the photo is because I think that he probably has multiple women. And that he, like, the idea that someone might be taking photos and sending them around could threaten his position with other people that he's talking to. And so that's like a big red flag for him. When I think sending a photo is fine. Like, it wasn't a creepy photo. It was just him in nice lighting on a sidewalk. Or it was like, look who I'm hanging out with. I just didn't think it was a creepy photo.
I mean, he wasn't looking like he wasn't like posing for the photo. It was definitely like, oh, here's him walking in West Hollywood. Click. But, I think it's because he wants to pretend he's famous because he's distant cousins with a famous person. Like last year was his, Shanice is a stalker. I can't be friends with a stalker because I'm famous. And this year he's like, people are just taking my picture because I'm famous and then like bragging about it. But like, you can't do that to a famous person. It's like, babe, you're not famous. Okay. Congratulations on being born to someone with proximity to John Legend. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's thinking, I mean, I don't know if I could bring her around my family because I've got a famous person in my family. If she's just going to take photos without me knowing, that could be a bad thing. It's like, sir, just relax. Okay. Not everyone is going to like splooge themselves because they see John Legend. Okay. I hate to break it to you. Okay.
So
But
he's like, yeah, I don't know if we're on the same page, I mean, I thought we could be cool, but at the end of the day, you really get nothing for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so Nick's like, okay, but can you rebeat? And they say, what? And he's like, rebeat. And they're like, what does that mean? And he goes, here's the definition of rebeat. Take it from a person who wears hats. The first definition is the beat. The delicate way to put it is intimacy. Like, I don't like that.
yeah. And then he's
Let's
like,
not rebeat somebody. How about that? I don't like that. It's abuse, A. The first word for it is to beat somebody, okay? Plain. That's the first plain way. The second way now has to do with ladies putting on makeup, right? Like I'm still used to that slang. So we can't just keep using beats over and over again. Let beats alone.
Third way, let's be honest.
Also, stop making beet salad.
Jerking off.
I'm sick of beet and goat cheese salad.
I
Let's do
literally
something
just bought
else.
some beets. I literally just bought them because beets are supposed to be good for lowering blood pressure. So I just bought some, and I'm gonna make a beet salad later today. Unfortunately,
Sorry, I just shamed your future beets.
it won't be my first beet salad I've made. So maybe this is a rebeat salad.
You're repeating it. That means you want to fuck it again.
I'm gonna
You want to
fuck my
fuck those
salad.
beets again, Ben. Just say it.
I want to go back to it. I want to fuck a salad. That's weird, man. That's a red flag. I don't know if I'm comfortable
So
with that.
he's saying that fucking somebody is a beat. When you're fucking somebody, you're beating somebody. I just feel like this is a bad road to go down. So it's a problematic road. There, I said it. And then he said, so if you've already fucked them, then you're rebeating them.
Right. So Amir's like, yeah, you should do it. You should do it. Like, and then we can tell us all about it. I'm not vicariously living through you. I'm very happy with my girlfriend right now. And Nick is like, yeah, I can't do it. And Amir's like, well, then why are you pressuring him? Why are you doing that? So Amir's telling us, like, why are you telling Alex to rebeat, Nick? Is it because you want to beat? Let's get to the bottom of this. It's trying to create some sort of controversy in this stupid moment.
I'm looking up beat on Urban Dictionary to see if it's really a thing. It is not. Not the way he's saying it.
I can't
Allie-
believe someone who looks like a worm coming out of an apple, a cartoon worm coming out of an apple, gave us slang that only he knows about.
The bookworm.
Doesn't he look
Allie
like a
and Mark were
bookworm?
at home and they were having kinky sex. Mark pulled out a whip and began to beat Allie's bare ass as she moaned. He slid his 14-inch cock into her, and he went fast in and out whilst whipping her and acting like he was riding her as a horse, whipping it to go faster. What the hell? What is this?
Someone
beat
doesn't
to
use-
roughly hurt somebody. Oh,
Did someone just use like the classic definition of beat to kind of like have a little bit of a fantasy there in Urban Dictionary?
this really is. This is user submitted, and people really go there. Okay, when something is uncool, lame, dumb, or ugly, to steal or rob, to have sex. Well, there is a to have sex. It's way down. It's like the 5th definition. So there it is. There.
User Nick Summerhouse MV. Wait a second.
It's to be lame or gross or have sex with somebody. Oh, it makes total sense, guys.
One thing, my favorite part about Urban Dictionary is how consistent all the definitions always are.
They just flow right into each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So Amir's like, wait, why are you telling him to rebeat? Is it because you want to beat? Let's get bottom of the beat. And so Nick's like, well, what do you do? And he's like, I can't say if I would want to beat her or not because Natalie would cut my dick off. Also, let's not talk about who we want to beat.
He's like, to be fair, if I just said that I moved my pillow from the left side of the bed to the right side of the bed, Natalie would also want to cut my dick off. She just really wants to cut my dick off at all times.
Yeah. By the way, your relationship sounds terrible. Can I just be the first to say it?
Please bring her on the show as soon as possible.
So then everyone's getting dressed for this decades party. And let's see.
Noelle uses this as an insight to her backstory, and she says, "I was a very shy kid growing up, and one of the ways I was really able to embrace who I am was honestly just like dressing up. Homecoming week, character week, senior week, dress as a marmalade week, I just dressed as anything, even though when it wasn't even a week for things. I just would show up. One day I showed up in chemistry class, like a box of Cheerios. That was fun. Got to be my real self then.
She's like, one of the better ways to show how unique you are is to dress up like somebody else.
Like something else.
Okay.
It's to hide behind a costume. Create a persona that's not you and claim it as your own. That's the best way to be authentic.
But I do like that. It's like cosplaying until you find an identity, because she later pulls out I'm a girl who plays chess, and I just happened to start playing around the time that Queen's Gambit came out.
And Real Housewives of New York. So, justice for Bree's chess career, huh? So now everyone's sitting on the couch for this very exciting decades party wherein they just sit on a sofa and talk. And Noelle's like, okay, everyone, welcome to the groovy decade night. They're like, woohoo. I would love for each and every one of us to stand up and tell us your decade and what inspired you and your decade. So anyway, buckle up for the next 20 minutes, everyone.
Jasmine is dressed 1950s, but she's dressed like a 1950s housewife or something. And Amir's like, yeah, Jasmine's dressed up as a 50s housewife. I thought the theme was to dress as something you're not already.
Hold on one second. I'm getting a phone call. Yes, I did mention Jasmine's name, honey. No, I'm not sleeping with her. I swear to God, honey. Yes. I love you too. I love you too.
It's amazing how we can just be on the phone and I can still feel the cut across my penis as it is severed from my body.
And then Preston is like 90s and he's doing an homage to the movie Juice. And he's like, if you haven't seen Juice and you're black, I don't trust that. And Shanice is like, oh, it must not have been that great because I don't remember it. Unless we're talking about shots with Juice. Who wants shots? I want shots for that.
And Summer is 70s, and Nick is 70s. He's Arthur Ashe. And they're like, who's Arthur Ashe?
Come on, guys. No one knows who Arthur Ashe is.
And I love that they look him up. Well, first, he goes, I'm just here to win championships. And Shanice is like, boo, get off the stage. Loser.
Stupid. No one cares about tennis. Be a real athlete.
So Shanice is just like kind of in a bikini or something. And they're like, what are you supposed to be, a working girl in the 2000s? And she's like, oh my God, thank you for saying I'll have a job. That's like the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to me. Ha ha ha, let's do a shot to that. Let's do a shot.
Yeah. And then Bria is 2000s, and we found out that she was in a girl group called Greater Than, and she wanted to be a rapper, but she had no rhythm, so it didn't really work out. So thankfully, she has some unidentified business to fall back on.
But I like that they use. I like that she was in a group that had a math symbol as the title.
Yes. Greater than, and definitely not equal to.
She's like, I went and spun off my own solo career. Pi. Amazing. People thought it was going to be a girl group because 3.14 or whatever. Is it 3.14?
And more, infinity more, but yeah, so she's greater than. And then Amir dressed basically like Nick. He goes, I'm dressed as 2010 Nick Arrington, and they're like, haha, and they all just start making fun of Nick, and then they just start voting on like who is the best dress or whatever, and Nick gets like no votes, and he's like very upset about it.
Yeah, they're really not into tennis. I like that they started looking up who Arthur Ashe was. And it's a tennis player, obviously, but it's a guy with glasses, and they're like, I don't know who this is, but it looks just like Nick. I like that Nick was like, I'm just going to be someone with glasses from the 70s.
They're like, Nick, wasn't there an oversized apple you could have poked your head out of? That would have been more effective.
Okay, so now they're going to play a game called Spill the Tea. Here's another thing I'll say. I know that this is a spinoff of Summer House. You don't have to be just like Summer House. I would say the weakest part of Summer House are costume parties and terrible games.
I know. I mean, okay, to the credit of this cast, I feel like they're genuinely playing a game. Like, they're not like, guys, let's play a game. Like, they're not trying to be like saucy for the camera. I think they're genuinely like, oh, we're hanging out. I've got a game. You guys want to gather around for some games?
Yeah, they're not like, hey,
it feels like they're just hanging.
I want to play a game. This game is called Kyle is Mean to Me. Kyle.
You want to play a game? What was your favorite part of the weekend? I'll start. When I had an ideation that Kyle and I were going to split up. Kyle.
I love that you put ideation into Amanda's head.
I know the concept of idea, just even having that as part of a word. And
All the ideations in this business were mine in the first place. Kyle.
Amanda. So they're pulling in cards. These are like cards that are like wacky. We know what this is. So Shanice is like, okay, I want to take a shot. They're like, come on, Shanice, you have to pull a card. So she pulls a card that says take a shot. She goes, take a shot. She's very excited.
So then one of the cards is who's the worst dresser in the group? And Summer goes, I would say Shanice. And Summer's like, yeah, I mean, I love her. She's not a bad person. It's just she's a bad dresser. And so Noelle's like, Summer just yelled out Shanice's name. I'm like, girl, that's supposed to be your friend. And it wasn't even your question. The fact that you're so quick to answer that, it's like shady boots, y'all. It's shady boots.
So Shanice comes back to the group because she was over in the kitchen trying to like make shots. And she's like, wait a second, you're calling me the worst dress? For what reason? And Summer's like, no, you're just the best of the worst. I mean, the worst of the best. The point is you're a terrible dresser. That's it. But we still like you. Not really though. And Shanice is like, oh, who voted Summer? Why am I the worst dressed? Because I'm the realest one and you all wear fake shit?
And Preston goes, oh, well, I wear fake shit too. Just to be honest. So she's all pissed. She's like, I'm so mad. I'm not even going to finish doing this shot. Wait, hold on. You don't get yourself. Oh, I don't love shots. Anyone want to fuck? Hold on. I'm going to go cry in the bedroom for a minute.
So she goes up to the room to cry. And then Bria goes up there to check. And she's like, are you crying? She was like, yes. Who the fuck says that? Summer said that I'm the worst dresser?
And she's like, it's because I don't have any money to buy clothes. So she tells us that she is hurt because she got transferred by her job from Phoenix to Tampa, to which I say,
okay.
Win to win. I mean, really win to win. I mean, both very, very hot places. I feel like she should go on Below Deck.
Yeah, well, I think
that's where they cast out of, right? Isn't it Tampa or is it Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale, but I think Tampa, like you're below deck ready. Once you're in Tampa, you're ready for it.
Can't you see her as a below deck person? I can. Just
I
oh
can
my God, I'm starting as like third stew. I'm in the lunchroom all the time. I just want dick.
I'm doing like so much work and like I just want to be like I want to be near the guests. I want to do shots of the guests. I don't want to like wash dishes.
So yeah, I think she should do that. But anyway, they transferred her from Phoenix to Tampa and then they fired her, which sucks. I mean, you make someone move to freaking Florida and then you fire them while they're in Florida. That's not legal.
Well, hopefully that social media job is still open with the Tampa hockey team.
She's like, I mean, this trip was pre-planned, so I'm here. Also, it's free, but I can't do certain things, and Summer knows that. So her bringing it up that I can't dress really hurts me because she knows that she's making fun of a poor person.
She can go suck a dick. I'm like, wow. So she's like, she knows how to be a Bravo reality star. So now Summer's downstairs wondering where Bria and Shanice are, not actually doing anything to see if the friend that she just offended might be hurt. So she's just sitting there. She's like, oh, I wonder where they are. Oh, well.
She's like, oh my God, surely she's not upset. But I also like that Bria goes to make Shanice feel better. And this is how she does it. She goes, don't worry, she doesn't dress nice either. Not that you dress nice, just that she's also terrible at fashion.
Yeah. So Preston's saying that he thinks that like maybe Shanice didn't realize that was actually a question from the card. It wasn't like they just randomly decided to declare that Shanice is the worst dressed, which I don't know if that makes it any better personally.
No, it doesn't.
No. And Shanice says like, I mean, it's fucked up. Like, how are you going to categorize me as worse dressed than Nick? I mean, I have an Alexander Wang dress. What does he have? He has a hat that makes it look like he went to a campaign rally in 1922.
So Noelle's like, okay, so now I'm seeing some shadiness here with Summer because, you know, she shouldn't have said that about her friend if they're really friends. I don't like this. So then downstairs, Shanice comes back down and Summer sees her in the hallway and she's like, are you good? And she's like, I just don't like how you did that right away. Like the first thing you said was Shanice. Like, that's not nice. It's like all of a sudden you think I have bad fashion just because I'm from Tampa. I didn't even choose to live in Tampa.
And Summer's like, oh, baby, no, part of the game, babe.
So now let's go to the truth booth. Summer and Noelle are in there. And Summer's like, yeah, well, like all I'm saying is that like when I'm around her, it's just always she's wearing a top and short shorts. I mean, that's not best dressed, okay? I mean, maybe my delivery was mean.
You went out of your way to make that delivery. That's the thing. Like, you didn't have to make that delivery, and you went out of your way to do it. But also, I almost feel like then stand behind it and say, no, I'm just saying it because you always wear like you know, some top and some shorts. It's just like compared to everyone else who actually seems to try to put together a look, it's just not as strong. I feel like just at least stand behind it.
Also, just stop playing these games. These are the worst games ever. You guys, we should play a game. Who's the worst dressed? You guys, let's play a game. Who's the fattest? Guys,
See, and
who's the ugliest in our friend group? Who is that?
this is the problem with having people like Shanice on the show, because the Shanices are what make it so fun. But when the Shanices react to the stupid games, it inspires Bravo to say, oh, the games, they work. They're amazing. Throw another game in, because they're always going to try to get that reaction, because they will do 12 games and then they hit one of them will actually create some sort of reaction that's semi-interesting. And Bravo's like, see, it works. We got to do 24 more games now.
So Summer's like, guys, look, we're a beautiful group. No one dresses badly, okay? I mean, look at Amir. Maybe he's the worst dressed, right, guys? Right? And Preston's just like, oh my God, just stop talking. Just stop talking. Now you're going to name everybody as worst dressed.
I know. So they're all dancing and it's fun and everything. And she's like, oh, whatever. I'm on vacation. And like, I don't want to talk about feelings. When I hear a good song, I'm like, okay, nothing happened. Let's move on with my life. Shots. Who wants a shot? You want a shot? Shots are live. Ah.
So then Amir texts Natalie and it says, what do I eat now? ... babe. Which obviously, to anyone with a fucking brain, means I can't live without you. I'm like, oh my God, what do I even eat?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory to me. But of course, Natalie writes back, huh? I'm so confused. That was so random. Makes it seem like it was meant for a different person. He's like, oh my God, I better go to another bedroom and call her now.
Like, dump her. And then so he goes to another room and then everyone else is still dancing. And then Jordan just turns to Nick and goes, move, because he's too close to her. She goes, move, move, move.
So Amir calls Nat and he's like, why are you being weird? Why would you think that text would be meant for someone else, my love? And she's like, because like it doesn't have a place in our conversation. And he's like, but to me it sounds accusatory. And she goes, it's not accusatory. Are you good? He's like, not really, because this isn't my style. Because all these girls are dancing and I'm trying to not be. Oh, okay. So she wasn't jealous enough for you. So now you're going to tell her that they're all twerking in your face. Okay, I see. Well, I see what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're playing mind games, right? Because she is doing the like, oh, really? That text, was that meant for me? Are you cheating? And then the moment he's like, I wasn't cheating, then he punishes her by then being like, are you good? Like, what's going on with you? She's like, no, I'm fine. Like, so now he's like, yeah, so anyway, all the girls are dancing. I'm not trying to be around it. And Nick's looking around, looking at whoever's ass is around him. And I'm like, bro, come on. I mean, I think this is a bit much, Amir. I think these are all your friends and they're dancing. What are we, in Footloose here where you're scandalized by people's bodies moving?
No, well, he's telling her, I'm surrounded by asses in my face and I'm the only one not looking at these asses. He's basically trying to get her jealous because it's turning him off. It's turning him on that she gets so jealous. That's why he's said it a million times. She's going to cut my dick off. Like, he loves that. He loves that she gets so fiery. So he keeps trying to make her fiery. I mean, it's just like, have fun. Have fun, you two. Have fun with your murder-suicide. Have fun with your upcoming
Oh, I thought you were going to say, have fun with your breakup
or
each other.
The next fucking crazy
scene you make at a restaurant. But murder-suicide, take it all the way there.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Maybe I took it a little far, but geez, they're a fairly new couple to already be doing this. Like, she's going to cut my dick off. Can't wait to make her want to cut my dick off tonight when I get home.
So, and then Amir's like, Nick looking at the other girls isn't what's best for him and Tasia. I'm like, who are you to say, Mr. like codependent, like mutual jealousy situation?
Well,
it's
true though. I mean, Nick is gross. And he was gross
He is.
last year too, with not telling anybody he even had a girlfriend until he just couldn't hook up with anybody in the house. Nick's gross.
No, Nick is gross. What I don't like is someone like Amir who's in a clearly dysfunctional relationship with lots of insecurities, acting like, I know what's best in this situation. It's like your relationship also sounds like it's crap.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, I'm a relationship expert, and Nick really needs to watch it.
And as we all know, when you're in a relationship and your female friends start to dance, you have to exit the room because if anyone were to know that you had a boner, it'd be a disaster.
He's like, if my girlfriend were here and saw me looking around, she would have me by the throat and she'd slit it. And I'd be like, no, that's not what I meant. But then I'd be bleeding out everywhere and all you would hear are gurgling sounds. And I'd be like, oh my God, my shirt. And then one of those girls would see my shirt stain and call me terribly dressed.
And then Natalie would say, are you good? And I'd say, yeah, I'm good, but are you good? And she said, no, I wasn't jealous. And I'd say, I wasn't jealous, but it seems like you're jealous. And she'd be like, babe, stop talking. You're bleeding out from your throat. And I'd say, babe, if I do bleed out, this is kind of your fault. And I'd be like, babe, I didn't mean it. And I'd be like, it's too late now. The damage is done. Babe, I never should have done it. Hey, let's make out real quickly.
And then she slit my dick off and shove it into my slit throat.
You get real fucked up, man. She'd use my sliced off dick as a bandage around my throat, so she would actually save my life by wrapping my dick around my neck.
So now it's 2:38 a.m. and Preston's making some food because he's my hero, and that's what my heroes do at 2:38 a.m. And then Shanice, who, guys, she's just chill Shanice, and all she really wants to do is party, and she lets go of everything the second she hears a good song. At 2:30 a.m., it's like, Summer has something against me. And Bria's like, she must be jealous. And she goes, yeah, there's something. So here it goes. Now we've got a season-long beef.
So then Noelle and Jordan are dancing in the kitchen, but they're cleaning. They're like cleaning and dancing at the same time, which is fun. And that's the next day, and it's raining. And of course, it's like pouring and miserable. And the singer, the Trixie Monocle, the member of the Trixie Monocle band is like, there's a party outside. There's a party outside. And it's just like misery in a miserable way.
Yeah. So then, let's see. So Nick is FaceTiming Tasia, and he's like, hi, Tasia. You know, I'm the only guy to make my bed. What do you think of that? I like it. Amir's like, everyone else wants to fuck these girls in the house. That's how he's going to look better to his girlfriend. Like, look at me abstaining. And Nick's like, I made my bed, mommy. Like, okay,
I know.
All of you need better relationships.
And Shanice, in the morning, Shanice is like, oh, yeah, I was up really late last night. They're like, what were you doing? She's like, oh, I was sexting. Yeah. I was just like, I sent my favorite nudes. So she was curating nudes to send to different men. She's like, well, I sent my favorite nude to my favorite guy. And then I gave everyone else just basic nude shots. I was like, I love that. That's like her evening activity.
I feel so bad for Shanice. Because we know guys like that who are just like, oh my God, I got a dick pic from so-and-so. Oh my God, I got a dick pic from him too. It's like they just keep sending everybody their dick pics. Like at some point, it's just like, please don't. Please, can I please not get your dick pic at lunch? Like, I didn't ask for this. Who are you even?
Alex is like, did you send a mass text? And were any of the photos ones of me that you didn't tell me about? Because that's not cool, man.
Yeah. So how about try that, but with your resume? Just send your resume to random people. Okay?
Yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of Alex, we then see him like in a room doing the Luke Goldbranson thing where he's like working on a song. He's like, out of my head and right on the block.
I'm not virgin, I know John Legend. Does that rhyme? I think it does.
Take a photo of me, but I don't get to see.
Please don't let your wife Chrissy get pissy with me when she takes my picture and I don't know it.
I'm very deep. So then
proximity, famous by proximity.
I'm a legend too. So
we're all legends. Everyone's a legend.
It's a legendary and collective. So Preston's FaceTiming his boyfriend Donald, who's going to come in about 10 days. He's really excited. And then Nick and Noelle are playing chess, and Noelle is apparently really into chess, and she's been playing it very seriously for the past 3 years. And she says that sometimes she goes to Washington Square Park on the weekends to play with random people, but unfortunately, it often ends awkwardly because she often dresses up like a chess piece. She's like, I just love being myself, dressed as a rook. People say I'm a queen, and I literally dress up like a queen chess piece.
So now Amir gets to talk about working out. Amir's much more annoying this year, I have to say. He's still extremely cute, and he seems nice, but he's bugging me. He's doing this thing with his girlfriend that bugs me, and now he's talking about working out all the time. I hate that. Just work out and make it look effortless. I really hate knowing all the effort that goes into this. I want to think like God likes you more than me. Like there's something that gets me off in that. Like it's just not fair. You know the reason I'm not muscular? Because I just didn't win the genetic lottery. That's what I like to tell myself. People like Amir just ruin it for me, where they're just like, I can't go 5 minutes without working out because you know what I love? Protein. That's what I love. No.
He does love that. And then we also have Jordan FaceTiming her dad, and she's talking about how she has a hair deal. And so she shares about how she has alopecia it runs in her family, and how she did a shoot like 4 years ago where she needed to use hair relaxer, and then her hair has not been the same. And she's currently experiencing a really bad outbreak at the front of her hair, and it's like really changed who she is, and she has to wear wigs and stuff now, etc.
So, well, one car is going to work out. The other car is Jordan talking about how Nick is on her body all the time. And Summer's like, yeah, me too, actually. And then we see a montage of Nick like coming up behind them and like kind of taking both of their shoulders, like putting his arm around both of them and being like, let's take a picture. Just being fancy in general.
And they have a lot of footage for this montage. It's really bad when your montage has like several beats in it, pun intended. So Preston is like, yeah, he gets definitely like much more handsy when he's drunk, and he's like, and I know Tasia would not appreciate it. And Jordan's like, I don't think he does anything inappropriate, but I just think that he gets flirty when he's got a little drink in him.
So Preston's like, he needs to break up with Tasia because if you can't respect her, then you need to go. So he's not surprised though, right? And he's like, we just need to nip this in the bud. So they're gonna have a talk with Nick. Dun dun dun. And then they go to the gym, and Amir gets on the big gym ring hangy things that you see in Venice Muscle Beach, Venice's Muscle Beach, and like starts lifting himself up on them. Gross.
He starts doing like things on it and stuff, and then Bria does it because it turns out that Bria used to be a gymnast, and so she likes to. She goes, I like showing up here and there. It's like my hidden talent. And she winks. I was like, oh my God, Bria was channeling Ramona. It was so strange. I don't know. Did you notice that she totally did a Ramona right there?
A little winky.
I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison and put it on our social media so everyone can see like the spirit of Ramona lives on in Bria.
So then Alex is like, I can do that too. All of me likes all of you. They're like, you're not John Legend. He goes, okay, what else can I do too? I can do something that other guy's getting attention for too. And so he runs to the rings and like flips himself over and then almost dislocates his shoulder because it takes practice. You can't just jump on rings. Okay.
Yeah, I could totally see myself doing that by accident, but I would not be doing it trying to be cool. I'd be doing it because I don't know what I'm doing. And yeah, that is such a fuckboy thing to do.
Turns out not everybody's a legend on the rings.
No, he's like, I thought I could do it. I thought that someone had given me the green light. Give me the green light. I want to do the rings right now.
So now they go to brunch, or the other crew goes to brunch, and Shanice is like,
Oh, well, yeah, one crew's still going is just arriving at brunch, and then we go back to the gym. And I loved this phrase from Shanice because she's talking about gym being therapy, and she goes, "Yeah, gym is really therapy. It just really helped me get over that whole stalking situation with my ex last year." I find that actually doing push-ups under his window before I put my face up against it really makes the process a lot more fun.
I did rings once, except it was a windowsill. But I did pull myself up pretty well.
Yeah, it turns out that like when you go to the gym, you can do pull-ups on a window really easily. Just helps scaling up there to the bedroom.
She needed gym work to help her get over the trauma of stalking somebody. So now over at brunch, Jordan's like, I need to check in with Shanice because Shanice like seems like really upset about something, but I just don't understand because she doesn't communicate it to us until she's at a breaking point. You guys are such assholes. Don't act like Shanice is crazy for being upset. And they do, because Summer's like, yeah, like she just needs to communicate because it's so crazy how like she's fine 1 second and then sobbing the next. She was sobbing the next because you called her the worst dressed. What don't you understand? And she did communicate it to you immediately. She started crying. What do you think crying means? And then when you asked her, she told you. Well, let's stop gaslighting Shanice. She's crazy enough.
Preston's like, and she's also so theatrical. I'm like, could we please roll the clip of last week at dinner when you go, what is going on?
Also, you have a different style hat for every scene. Like, you have a costume change with your hats for every scene. Like, let's not point the theatrical finger.
So Shanice is then telling everyone at the gym that's just like weird that Summer mentioned her name as being worst dressed. And then on top of that, then this morning, Summer came into her room and was like, can I borrow a sweater? It's like, why would you borrow a sweater from the worst dressed person? Am I right?
She was, and then what upset me is she didn't even come upstairs to check on me or anything last night. So she was, you know what? It's because Summer's jealous of me, America. Because
not everyone could live in Tampa.
I love that Brie was like, maybe she's jealous. She goes, yeah, she's jealous. In Jamaica, I was telling her about the guys that I talk to, and most of them have like status, okay? They're not just 9-to-5ers.
Have status? Like airline status? What does that mean?
I only send nudes to people with a priority pass.
I mean, these people live in like high-rise apartments, like penthouses. Do you know how hard it is to climb up to a penthouse? It's a lot. Thank God for working out.
I'm basically like the Spider-Man of Playboy bunnies.
And so she was like, how do you even talk to these men? I'm like, girl, look at me. Who wouldn't want to make out with me? Who wouldn't want to date me? Except for the guy that I stalked. I mean, that's fair.
I mean, haven't you been single? Didn't you stalk a guy and now you're single and literally sending out spam nudes? I can't. She's like that person where you sign up your email on someone's website to get 15% off and then suddenly they're like spamming you with emails. You know?
Yeah. So now Shanice is really a perfect reality star. She's like, I mean, like, Summer and I also, like, we don't really have that, like, joking relationship. So, like, when she was saying that, I felt like she was bullying.
She was bullying me.
She was, like, clingy and ganging up. I'm like, so she's a bully who clings, a clingy bully, and she's ganging up. Okay, got it. Perfect.
Well, I think she's a Fruit Loop, this girl. But I also am totally Team Shanice because I think Summer was being an asshole. And now Jordan, who's also gets real snotty too. Jordan's getting snotty. And she's getting snotty with Summer. And they're going to team up to take Shanice down literally for crying about something they said. I mean, this is so funny to me. So I'm Team Shanice in this upcoming war.
By the way, notice that like Jasmine completely evaporated from this episode. Like, is she even here? What's going on? Like, she says like nothing this entire hour.
I actually did feel bad for Jasmine because they've centered her as the lead of the show, and everyone's like, I hate her.
No one likes her. They're not even
giving her. Can we work this
time
out? And she's like, yeah. Well, the reason I haven't talked to you is because I don't like you now. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, but look, I'm the married one. But then her husband's not on the show. But I'm pregnant. Nobody cares. They're like, oh yeah, he just got her pregnant because he's controlling.
I brought a hula hoop. So then Alex is like, you know, I never thought about Summer being a bully because I just didn't see her that way. But I think it's a lot of like mean girl energy that's like surprising from Summer. It's kind of like, you're a mean bully and I'm related to a famous person. Don't take photos, bully, of me.
It's a real bummer to find out about Summer. It's like a summer jam, but like a sad version. It's literally a summer jam.
You are a summer jam. I'm not even going to sing another song because that was too funny.
So Amir is asking Shanice. He's like, you should talk to Summer about it, Shanice. And do it in a bikini so I can call my girlfriend and say, they were fighting in bikinis, but I didn't look because I love you so much. And then she's going to threaten to slice my dick off and shove it in my ear.
And don't forget that she's a bummer, bully, and a bummer, Summer. So now back to brunch. Preston's like, the thing that Shanice does, she has like a form of escapism that she has. And but I'm like, God, you're feeling your feelings. So just like tell us about your feelings. I love, this is my favorite thing is when people are mean to someone and then are surprised that that person doesn't share their feelings with them. It's like, we've created a totally hostile environment for you to actually connect with us, but why don't you connect with us?
And it's also funny when that person is literally showing their feelings and that's why they're upset. They're mad because she ran off crying, which means she doesn't show her feelings. That makes no sense. Like the logic here, there's no logic in what these people are saying.
And so then Summer is literally, she's like, okay, so say okay, Summer, you hurt my feelings. Like, just let me know so I could just not do that in the future. I'm like, okay, how about you don't go out of your way to say that someone's the worst rest? I don't know. I think there's a certain amount of instinct that can come into play here.
Did she not say, I didn't like that you said that to me. It hurt my feelings. She literally told you. So I don't understand where this is coming from. So then she's like, yeah, well, we went to Jamaica together and we didn't even have any deep conversations. It was just about guys. So I don't really think I can get there with Shanice.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all Summer's
so
talking
you're
about
much
is Alex.
deeper. Your conversation so far has only been about fucking Alex. Is it so much deeper because he pretends he's in a collective? Get the fuck out of here. Why is your fucking deeper than her fucking?
Yeah. So Preston's like, by the way, how is Alex in bed? And Summer's like, I mean, he's fun. He's a good cuddler. He's a good kisser. But she tells us he's not good. Basically, he's not good.
She says it's not quickies. It's just not there yet. So, I mean, is there enough for you to be mad?
That's right. It was enough. There was enough there.
Yeah.
So back to the gym. We're on minute 35 of being at the gym. Shanice is now asking what's going on with Alex and Summer. And Noelle's like, oh, well, I thought it was oh, you're not showing me who you really are, so you can't really fuck me kind of thing. And they're like, no, they slept together. Didn't you hear that they actually slept together? It's like, what were you doing?
When did they say that? And then they cut to her eating crab and making all those faces last week. And they thought that she was making those faces because of the story. But she was literally just like, this crab is hard.
She was just focused on the crab. And you know what? I've been there.
You have been. You're useless around shellfish. Literally. You're out to it. You're on a different planet around shellfish.
Ron
and I
is
love it. That's how you should be with shellfish,
Ron is like, Ben, I need to share something with you. I have a deep insecurity, and I've never really been able to verbalize this, but I feel like we've grown really close over the past 12 years. I'm like, can you please pass the butter? I just what, this shell, it's just it won't
I used
open.
to not suck the brains out, but now I do.
It's interesting.
So let's see. So Noelle is like, okay, so before we came on vacation, I told her Alex is my type. So what's the history with you guys? And she said, oh, it's cool. We just hung out. And she's like, hung out and having sex are two different things. And you're supposed to be my girl. You can't even tell me the truth.
So now we go back to brunch. And Jordan's like, yeah, well, by the way, Summer, I think your reaction the other day really raised some questions. Summer goes, facts. You know what? Facts. I'm going to say it a second time. Facts. Because I think I need to communicate better. So next time, if I'm annoyed at Alex, I'll say, you're really annoying me, instead of you do remember that you were inside of me, right?
And Summer's like, I've had situationships where I just can't be that person's friend because there's love. But I'm not checking for Alex that way, okay? I mean, Alex was fun. It was never serious. So I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, and she goes, and Noelle has full agency to explore Nick. I mean, Alex, not Nick. And then Preston's like, that was a Freudian slip. So now everyone goes back to the house. Alex his shoulder is still hurting because he tried to do something he was totally unequipped to do, and with the rings. And so Noelle and Summer go upstairs to talk, and Summer's saying how she's told everyone at brunch that she has absolutely no feelings for Alex. So if Noelle wants to go for Alex, it's totally cool.
And Noelle's like, but I didn't know you guys fucked. I mean, I'm not doing that. And she goes, okay. She's like, so she tells us, Summer, she's like, I don't owe you an explanation of what I do with that person if you don't even know that person. And now she's irritated because I didn't tell her enough, but she wants to pursue the man that I hung out with. So
Yeah,
what's
this
up
is
with
not gonna
that?
end well.
Okay, so she's really talking herself in circle this summer.
Yeah. So now Nick is doing push-ups, which is hilarious. And then Alex is saying the girls were doing the most when Amir was doing weights. And Alex is like, yeah, I wonder how Natalie would feel about that. And Amir's like,
God.
the girls were not doing the most when he was lifting weights, by the way. I don't think the girls were paying attention to Amir at all.
Yeah. So Amir's like, I mean, right now, if I told her Shanice is twerking on my face, she'd be like, so what did you do about it? Isn't that hot? I've got a halfie just thinking about it. And Nick goes, you just need to do what I do. Just sit there. And Preston goes, you think that's what you do? And they all start cracking up.
They're like, yeah, you notice you do get handsy. And Nick's like, I didn't touch anyone last night. And he's like, no, you get a little hands. And even Alex is like, yeah, it's not sleazeball, but you do this. And Amir goes, we need you to acknowledge that the action can be interpreted to you being a fuckboy. And Preston just looks at him like, idiot.
And he goes,
It's interpreted.
It's interpreted. But go off.
Well, that's how I interpreted.
So downstairs, the girls are blowing up blow-up dolls for this party. And Preston is, he's like, oh, don't worry, Nick. I mean, Preston and Summer are probably going to talk to you about it. But, they weren't like he's a sleazeball. They still love you. And so Nick's like, well, Tasia, trust me. That's all that matters. But now he's really bothered because people are talking about him, making them uncomfortable. To make them feel comfortable, he barges into their room while they're in bed and stands there creepily.
Right. And goes, do I ever make you guys uncomfortable? And then Jordan goes, you do get handsy. And Summer goes, yeah. And also Nick does that thing where he tells us, it's just like, we kick it so often. It's like, why didn't you say if this is a thing? I'm like, because that's the whole point, is that people feel uncomfortable. They don't say things, Nick.
Nick.
So that's the cliffhanger, is that they're going to tell Nick that he is a little pervy. So
yeah.
Just a smack of perviness.
Oh, gosh. All right, everybody. Well, that was Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. We will be back later this week with some Below Deck. Tons of stuff. Just lots of stuff. Just keep going back. There's something every day. Go to Patreon for videos. Also for tickets for our live shows in Europe and LA coming up. And we will talk to you all next time.
Bye.
Love you guys.